I apologize. We're going to start all over again. So today we're going to learn a new exercise called Love Yourself. But before we even start with that, the homework this month was to think of something you can do to improve yourself and maybe even try to do it. So I can tell you that I found out that what I can do to improve myself is to have a nice chunk of a delicious chocolate cake. And I thought that I shouldn't have it because it's not going to do any good for my weight. And then I couldn't say no to my students who brought the cake especially for me, a kosher chocolate cake. And so I had to have a piece. And you know what? I jumped on the scale this morning and it did not add 1 ounce. So now I know that the chocolate cake put me in a great mood, and to improve myself and to be in a good mood and to be creative and to be joyful, I have to have a piece of chocolate cake without any guilt that it's going to add any weight, because it doesn't. So there. Picture yourself actually doing it if you haven't done it. And now, let's fly together. If you look at your handout, and you do it, right guys? Yes? Yeah? Anita? Yes. Okay. Open. Great. Okay. So you will see that little image on that flyer that says if you want to soar in life, you first must learn to fly. And the word fly is an abbreviation. First, love yourself. And I have to tell you, before we go into the exercise, I have to tell you that my grandmother, may she rest in peace, used to tell us that if you tell kids that you're a pig, you're a pig, you're a pig, you're a pig, at some point in life he's going to go oink, oink, oink. But if you keep telling your child, you're an eagle, you're an eagle, you're an eagle, he's going to fly. So let's be all eagles, and let's learn to first love yourself. Why is that so important, to first love yourself? Rabbi Plishkin, oh hi, Rabbi Plishkin, in his book, the book that we're going by, talks about self-love. And he says, let me open it, I had it marked, and he quotes another great rabbi who says that if you lack love for yourself, for your own essence, if you do not have unconditional love for yourself, you will never be able to love other people. Now this is an interesting person who said that. That rabbi's name was the Chofetz Chaim, a very, very famous great sage who lived in Russia in the beginning of the first half of the 20th century. And there's an interesting story about him. The Chofetz Chaim lived in a city called Rodin, and one day he was traveling by train. He was coming home by train, and there was a young man traveling with him, not accompanying him, but just sharing the same train compartment. And so he asked the young man, you know how people talk on a train, where are you going? I'm going to Rodin. And why are you going to Rodin? I'm going to Rodin because I want to meet the Chofetz Chaim. And the Chofetz Chaim said, who's that Chofetz Chaim? And the young man said, why, you don't know? The great rabbi, the great sage, the great Chofetz Chaim. And the Chofetz Chaim said, what made him so great? I never even heard of him, and I lived in that city. And the young man got so angry that he hit the Chofetz Chaim. Actually slapped him. And the Chofetz Chaim didn't say a word. And then as the time passed, a couple of days, they arrived. Then a couple of days later, the young man actually got to see the Chofetz Chaim. And he comes And he sees the same old man that he had talked to on the train and that he had slapped. And the young man did not know how to hide himself from shame and embarrassment. And the young man said, "Oh, Rabbi, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you were the great Hofetzhaim." And hello, Miriam. Hello, Miriam. Come on in. Come closer. How are you? I'm just telling the first story. We're just started. And we're learning to fly together. To fly means first love yourself.
Oh.
And I'm telling this story, right? You have to. Oh, everybody's asking, what's the dog's name?
Max.
Max?
I'm sending the picture.
Yes, I put it in the post already. Everybody saw you and Max. But I didn't know the name.
Max.
So guys, this is Miriam, and that you saw on the photo and in the videos, and the dog's name is Max. Now everybody knows. All right. So anyway, so the Hofetzhaim, I'm going to go for a moment back to the beginning of the story. The great Hofetzhaim, the rabbi, was traveling on a train coming home to Rodin from somewhere. And there was a young man with him on the train. And he started asking young man, "Where are you going?" And the young man said, "I am going to Rodin to see the great Hofetzhaim." And the Hofetzhaim said, "Who's that great Hofetzhaim? I never heard of him." And the young man got so angry that he slapped the Hofetzhaim. He hit him. And then a couple of days later, he came to see the Hofetzhaim, and he saw that that was the old man that he had slapped. And he was so embarrassed, he didn't know where to hide himself from shame and embarrassment. And the Hofetzhaim said, "You know, I have to thank you for this. It was a painful lesson, but it was a great lesson. And the great lesson that I learned from you, young man, is that one should never belittle oneself,
Right.
even in one's own eyes.
That's right.
Humility is not thinking less of yourself.
Right.
It's thinking more of others,
Right.
but not thinking less of yourself. So, you got your glasses, you got everything you need. We are going to learn to fly. And the first thing we're going to do is breathe. Sit comfortably. Put your purse away someplace. You're gonna need to put it on the next chair or something. You wanna put it on the table, fine, because we're gonna be making something delicious. All right? Okay. Put your hands, palms up on your knees, not on the table, on your knees. Look straight in front of you. It's even better if you close your eyes. And do this. Breathe through the nose very slowly. Take a very deep breath. I'm gonna count to 4. Then hold your breath inside for a count to 4. Then breathe out through your mouth on the count to 4. Let's do it once first. Breathe through your nose first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold in 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Sweta, this is yoga. Yes, this is yoga, right. So let's do it 3 times. Yes,
I
there's
did
an
4
Indian.
times.
Sweta is in India, and it's night there. And she said, "Oh, this is yoga." Yeah, this is yoga, right? So let's do it again, and we do it 3 times. 3 times. Through the nose in. Hold and exhale very slowly through the nose. One more time. And one more time. Now what you did is you got your brain full of oxygen and ready to go and ready to learn anything that we want to learn. That's what you just did. You enriched your brain with oxygen. So now, repeat after me. It's like here. Breathe and then repeat. Glasses. I know. Other glasses.
I need other.
Yeah. I know that. Believe me, I know. Okay. Repeat after me. I unconditionally love myself even though I am not perfect.
I unconditionally love myself
even though I am not perfect. Next one. I love myself even though I have faults and limitations. Say it again. Let's say it together. I love myself even though I have faults and limitations. And the next one, I love myself even though I make mistakes and errors. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I love myself even though I make mistakes and errors. The next four, Rabbi Plishkin says, he gives them, but he says, if something is not you, you don't feel that it's you, read them. If something is not you, you don't have to say, but then maybe you have something that you think is not perfect.
What's envious?
When you feel that, that's when you feel that something is, the other person has everything and you have nothing, or the other person has it better than you. The other person has all the money in the world and you don't. That's envious.
A little bit envious of my sisters.
So let's say, I love myself even though I feel envious.
Even though I feel envious.
Right. Do you lose your temper sometimes? You know what, like go angry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do?
A little.
You're such a sweet person.
No, a little.
Yeah, you too, Christy. You too. We know you're a. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. So I love myself even though I lose my temper.
I lose my temper.
Let's say it again. I love myself even though I lose my temper. I don't think you overeat, so this is not for you.
I love myself even though I love. No. Even though I overeat.
I don't think you overeat. I've never seen you overeat.
Oh,
You lost so much weight, you don't need
I
to.
did, but I like too much and I'm getting it back. I'm
Uh-huh.
happy that
All
I'm
right,
getting it
but
back.
you don't know, you know. Okay.
And we all have like that a void, that hole that you want to fill.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
I fill it with food, even snacks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's comfort. You know, food is
Yeah.
comfort, and snacks are even more comfort.
Snacks are goodies.
Right. So, and the last one is I love myself even though I don't utilize my time in the best and wisest ways.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? How much
Oh,
time you
my
waste
son-
is incredible,
My
you
son
know?
gave me a lot of grief about it.
Right.
Because in the evening time, late in the evening, I like to see some show.
Uh-huh.
Like a
Right.
story.
Right.
You don't have any better things to do? Spend your time, maybe you eat. I said, I don't want to.
Love yourself. It doesn't matter who says what. Love yourself. First, love yourself. Yes. And this is what Rabbi Plishkin says, that real love for yourself, it does not mean being self-centered or selfish, not at all. Because when people have unconditional love for their own essence, our essence is what Hashem has given us. It's our neshama.
But
If you have love for your own neshama, that means you love Hashem, and Hashem loves everybody, right? That's all. So here's an interesting example that Rabbi Plishkin brings up. He says that someone shared with him that, oh, my life is a total mess. I waste a tremendous amount of time every day. I have existential anxiety. Existential. Just like our neighbor, I have an existential anxiety. And I was deeply unhappy most of the time. And I try to improve, but I feel totally awful about myself. I was greatly criticized as a child, and as I got older, I felt that those criticisms were well deserved. I had a lot of character flaws, and I don't say that I hate myself, because there are people who are much worse than I am. That's Rabbi Plishkin's friend who is saying that. But I am deficient in so many ways that I can't love myself. And Rabbi Plishkin tells him, you're too hard on yourself. And the young man says, yeah, but I really am an awful person. If I tell you everything about myself, you'd agree I'm totally an awful person. And Rabbi Plishkin says, no, I don't agree that you're an awful person. I do agree that it would be wise and very productive to upgrade, to improve your thoughts in the book. No, it's not there. It's in the book. All I got, what you have here is only this part.
Okay.
But this, what I'm reading, you will see in the video. Okay? Yeah. So he says, no. I do agree that it would be wise to improve, but it will be wise for anyone to improve your thoughts, your words, your actions, but your essence, your neshama, it's holy and it's pure, because that is a part of the Creator in you. So, and the young man says, you're just saying that because you're a kind person. And the rabbi says, no, I'm not saying it to be mean and nasty to you, but I'm not just saying it because I'm a kind person. I see that it's the truth, because I look into your heart, and what I see in your heart is the spark that is in everyone's heart. So all you have to do is to say, first, love yourself. Fly, and then you will fly. So what Rabbi Plishkin is suggesting is,
that's what
do
saved
this.
my sanity, was that I
Yes.
love myself.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to first love yourself. And if you repeat
I
this,
think I'm a little bit selfish, but I
It's
felt
not.
like that's what I need to do.
if
for me.
you don't love yourself, you will never be able to love others. So it's not selfish to love yourself.
Oh, good. Thank
You are Hashem's creation. And it's your responsibility to take care of all Hashem's creation. You're taking care of Max,
Right.
so you have to take care of yourself. I'm taking care of my cats, right? We're taking care of our cats. So we have to take care of ourselves also,
Well, I
right?
take care of not just Max, I take care of my kids' stuff and food and shopping.
Of
and
course.
cooking and all
Right? So you do a
All
lot.
of those things.
Love yourself. And
Yes.
keep saying, I love myself, even though I'm not perfect, even though, and read from here, even though I have my faults and limitations, even though I make mistakes, even though I sometimes lose my temper, I still love myself. I love myself because I'm part of Him. Because He created me that way. And that's that. So now we're going to say cheers, and we're going to make, look at this picture. Yeah, this is for you. Look at this picture, and we're going to make these now. Yeah, this is totally yummy. So these are called variants.